Welcome back for another week on the Wild Race. This week we're going back to Missouri. We're going on a snow goose hunt. I was welcomed by familiar faces. It was a great experience. This is my second time coming to the Cupwing Outfitters. This was a different outfitter that we went through that you didn't see earlier this season yet. And we had an awesome opportunity to work with some great people from this community.
Morning. Mike. John. Nice to meet you.
Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
Mitch. Sean. Justin, nice to meet you. Like the hoodie, man. So you guys would be in an A-frame today with the Raging Cajuns.
Raging Cajuns.
Are they from Louisiana?
Oh, it's far down in Jupiter.
I can't wait to meet them.
Oh, yeah, it's real. And it's pretty great. A lot of geese flying last night. Here in the area.
Yeah, we heard them last night.
We need wind, though. Wind killed us yesterday.
Sign around.
Yeah, well, we don't.
Wednesday.
20?
This afternoon, that's what he said.
We'll take 20.
We'll take 20.
30 to 40?
It's supposed to be slow in the morning, but
You all will be in a full body spread today. There's not one sock in the sound.
Holy cow.
Beep. And, you know, obviously we've got 7 or 8 fields set right now, so there's a lot of options for tomorrow. But yesterday, that one right there was our high field, and they had a ton of light. If they had wind, they said they shot 40 or 50 in the morning.
This is just to not draw any attention to us, so as much as you can, keep your face down. It's a straight south wind, so they're going to be working kind of right on top of us, so keeping your face down and having kind of cover over your head is like key. They should key in on those clones and try and get them in that hole. It is a strong wind, so kind of pick your shots at first, because your third, fourth might, on pairs and stuff, they might be gone after that third, fourth shot. But I'll call the shot. It's an A-frame too, it's a little different. You kind of got to keep your own lane, kind of 10 to 2 deal, maybe even 11 to 1 if you have to. But yeah, it should be pretty good. Like I said, it has been tough and inconsistent, but it should be pretty good. It's kind of getting that time where a lot of you are starting to show up. So I'll call the shot. I'll say guns up when we're done. That just means no more shooting, and then I'll send my dog out. And then I'll kind of go handle any cripples or anything, just so you guys don't have to run around not guns over anything. It might be a minute for the bird to get up. Yeah.
We're super excited to get out here and be able to hunt, go get some cover. pretty high. Nobody really wanted to come down, and coming to the spread, we had a single come in that they had shot down, and then we had a total Have 5 birds in the blind. We're hoping for a better afternoon.
So I'll be right back to grab other people, right?
I think this is pretty sweet. I like this setup a lot better than the one yesterday, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's a little backboard, they call it. I've never hunted snow geese before, so this is all new to me, but yeah, they want us to cover our faces with these, and the geese are gonna come right at us, I guess, so really get some good footage and smoke them.
We've got to try and spread out here. So today should be a good one. We got a south wind. This morning it's going to blow 8 to 10 straight south. This one's southwest 10 to 15. Should ideal for snow goose hunting. Sunny skies and a lot of Los Bluffs birds feeding out this way. So should be interesting. We're running 5 rotaries today, 4-arm rotaries, which is kind of a circus, but it's working right now with these young birds, these new birds showing up, and see what happens. A lot of these adults have been picking stuff like this. When they're pushing out, the birds pushing in, and should be exciting to see what happens.
So this is day 2. Day 1 ended kind of, we had a really slow end yesterday. We were fighting the wind. A lot of the birds, we didn't really see a whole lot of migration or flights in the sky, but we're hoping and very hopeful for today. We got Thomas, and we were with him last year, so we're super excited for day 2, and hopefully it's a good hunt.
Really dope.
Let's do it. I think he's the only one that's got it. What?
I was going to talk about the barrel.
I can't preach it enough, but safeties, safeties, safeties. Just to break up the I got some tall ones.
Pattern on a
Another long day today, day 2 here in northwest Missouri. We finished the day out with 8 birds. We saw lots and lots of flights moving in today, but unfortunately they were really hard to work. We had a lot better wind today than we did yesterday, but overall it was a good hunting day. We had a lot of fun here. We always have a lot of fun when we come hunt out here.
Slow tonight here in the field. The birds, they flew out, but not many. The flight last night was phenomenal, so thinking tonight was going to be great. And probably only seen 4,000 or 5,000 birds, where last night I bet there's 20,000 up here, but that's hunting, that's how it goes. It's frustrating, but that's why we do it, I guess. Keep chasing them and keep on keeping on and get back on them tomorrow.
So we had the privilege of having in our spread today in our hunt Briar from Illinois, and he is part of the military family, and so he was able to come out snow goose hunting. Was this your first hunt this year?
No.
So when did you start hunting?
Earlier this year.
Okay, and how has it been?
Really good.
Okay, have you been having a lot of fun?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And what did you got here in your hand?
A snow goose that I think I shot.
That is so awesome. How cool is that? Yeah, and what do you shoot? Do you know what kind of gun you shoot?
20 gauge.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. So we had talked a little bit earlier that we're going to give back to one of the organizations that I have chosen to work for. So we're going to give a donation in Briar's name to that, with the wild race as well, to that organization to kind of give back to those families in need. And what do you say about that?
I like it.
You like the idea of that? Giving back and helping other kids? He lost his father due to a line of duty accident that happened as an Illinois patrolman. While we thought it was a great idea to take this kid and not only experience him shooting his first snow goose, of which he did, and harvested his first snow goose and had a great time with us hunting, but we were able to donate or present a donation to him from Tunnels to Towers. Told this boy that he was going to be one of our recipients for our donation. He literally looked at me and said, I don't need this donation. I'd rather have this donation and give it to someone else that's more deserving of this, because he had everything that he needed. He had a new father. He was able to have a roof over his head and food on the table. So he'd rather have that donation go to a more deserving family. We did get some good birds to work, but it also was very difficult. It was also a very challenging year, very cold, very snowy, but we did the best we could. And again, we left with some amazing memories and even more amazing friendships.
OKS Hunter Podcast coming at you from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, on the OKS Hunter Podcast studio. Can someone else say OKS Hunter Podcast for me?
The OKS Hunter Podcast.
Okay. It just feels like a lot to get out of your mouth.
No, who are we talking to today?
Okay, Jessica Ann is here with the Wild Race. And I'll switch the camera stuff here. So we met in March at the open season sportsman's show at the Kalahari Expo. It was our first time doing an exhibit.
Oh, it was? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You guys killed it.
We were almost professional.
Oh, you
Greg
guys
built the
killed it.
booth, and we
You look
bought some
awesome,
frames, and
That's awesome.
so whatever, we did the thing there. We ran into you. You had like a whole crew of camera people. I'm just like, what is going on here? This paparazzi here. It was like, wow. And
As a
then
movie star.
I was like, he's like, oh, I know your dad, Chuck. And I was like, well, that's an interesting. Why is a celebrity come like that? Dad? Dad? Yeah, Dad?
So my trade, my day job, you can call it / nice job, is working as a nurse. But I came becoming...
Just one or two?
I have 2 jobs as a nurse.
Okay.
I work 2 full-time jobs as a nurse on top of the show and everything else.
Wow.
So it's...
How did you clear your schedule to
I didn't.
They were here early. They were on time.
Yeah. The ring doorbell broke and my dog's barking. Like, that's probably Greg, and I didn't even like...
No, it is very hard, but just like most of us in this, in this industry, but just anyone pursuing anything entrepreneurship wise, right? Like you have to be able to really grind and put in that work. So sometimes that requires us to work multiple jobs to be able to afford our dreams. So, but no, this actually started, are you familiar with SCI, Safari Club International? So my grandpa actually started the chapter here in Wisconsin many years ago. First chapter president. So I started with those very foundations and those values that my grandpa instilled in me very long ago. And so my dream was to always take over his nonprofit, which was called the One Shot Hunt Club, that specifically actually targeted the community. So there, the mission for his organization at the time was to provide hope and a future for African children. So wherever he went into this community in South Africa, because he fell in love with African hunting, was to actually give back. And so he saw a need, and so he used not only the resources he had, but the people that he met to be able to give back to that community. So I was planning to take over that organization, and that was my dream. My grandpa was like, this is your high school graduation present to go over there. Unfortunately, he passed away my third day of high school year, so I never got to go, and no one from my family went back. 2 years of planning because of COVID, everything got canceled. So, and through all of that, right, so we had this plan in 2020, COVID happened, my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and it was just, we're like, are we ever gonna make it? So we finally went to the same place that my grandpa became best friends with over there in the same communities that he helped with, those very same community. And we got to do the same thing he did. We're that back in their economy by purchasing from them their blankets, additional food, filling their pantries, filling and going over to these villages and handing out blankets. And so a lot of these families, and believe it or not, it gets very cold there. We were actually in a blizzard on the last day. Oh yes, it is freezing there in winter, so it's opposite from us. So when we were there in May, it's their winter. And so the guy that is my grandpa's dear friend, Francois, he would actually go and cut up wood on his own land and bring it so that they would have heat in their house. And then we went around and donated our blankets that we were able to get for them, and then also give them food. So that little community, there was 52 families that they helped in that little tiny community, which was not very big in itself. So it was really amazing to kind of continue with that legacy that he started many years ago.
But that perspective that you get, it kind of lifts your awareness of things a little bit.
It does, and I feel like it really put that fire underneath me to be like, this is more, that feeling I got of giving back and seeing what I can do with the meat that I harvested. Beautiful, beautiful animals, but I was able to use that in a way to also give back. I'm like, this is more of what I want to do, right? It's almost like that amazing feeling that you can't just recreate over and over again unless you continue to do that. And so,
why the name? Can you unpack that?
Yeah, so the Wild Race, it's the race to change the future. So my goal is to be able to, I see the kids as a future. Like, our youth are our future. We want to be able to give those kids an opportunity to close a lot of the gaps and a lot of missing pieces that these kids aren't given. We had a great conversation even earlier today about good hunting ethics, good work ethics, and then bad hunting ethics, right? So if we can get with the youth and be able to teach them early on, or nip those bad habits out, and be able to identify resources or opportunities of improvement, teach them to be good sportsmen, to have those good ethics, so that the farmer that you just asked to borrow, lease their land or go hunting on their land, they welcome you the next year instead of, nope, this person ruined it for us, right? Because they left behind trash, they didn't respect my land, they didn't respect my property. Absolutely. So we travel all over. We actually go all over the, not world, but the nation. And we hunt, we fish, but we focus on that very community. So we focus on bringing small businesses in, bringing our sponsors in, and allowing us to give an opportunity to the kids in areas of need, whether it's a nonprofit or any deserving child that a community rallies around is like, hey, this is somebody that could really benefit from something like this, that we can rally around and give an amazing opportunity to. So we have a website, www.thewildracetv.com, and then I'm also on TikTok under Jessica Ann Outdoors. I have Instagram, which is was my number one for the longest time. So at Jessica Ann Outdoors, and then our show is at Inside the Wild Race.
Well, cool. Thanks for hanging out with us in the OKS Hunter podcast studio.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Lived up to your expectation of what you see.
You didn't set the bar too high. No.
Yeah, try not to, really, for that reason. But no, now that folks know where to find you, that's great. If you guys, want to go follow them, please do so. Obviously, we'll tag you and everything, and this will be live in podcast land tonight. That's how we roll. We'll tag you in all our stuff, and hopefully you get a few more folks tuning in.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it. Thanks for delivering all the good news to the kids.
Of course, of course.
Mom and Mom.
Thanks again for tuning in to another great episode at the Wild Race, and stay tuned to see what we got in store next week.